Hello YouTubers and fellow Doctor Who fans, and welcome to another Doctor Who action figure review. This time I shall be taking a look at the brand new B&M exclusive 11th Doctor collector set, which comprise of 3 new repaints slash re-releases of existing figures. Taking a look at the packaging, it is very simplistic. Here it has 3 figures in the box, and at the back of the box as well. You don't really have a bio of the characters from this, it's just plain promotional photos of the figures which are in this set. So first off, let's take a look at the 11th Doctor. Now this figure is based off the 11th Doctor's appearance in the Christmas special, The Snowmen, and I suppose you could say the Time of the Doctor as well. Now this figure was previously released in the Impossible set along with another figure, which is this figure. So getting the Impossible set now is pretty much pointless because they've re-released them in this set along with another figure. So yeah, that set really didn't work out, and I'm kind of glad, to be honest, because I never picked that set up. So for me, this is a big win, because this is a new variant which I have never got before of the 11th Doctor, because usually the figures are released off the Tweed Jacket or the Series 7B version, but I think that this is very good. This is based off the outfit that he wore in said stories. And yeah, I think it's very good. I like how here you've got the sort of fur texture going on here, and you know, you've got the patterns at the sides here. So it's a unique version of the 11th Doctor, and of course most notable thing about this is he doesn't have his bow tie on in the same fashion as he would in well, on the other figures that have been released. Basically, the head sculpt is pretty much the same as what we've seen in like the Series 6, Series 7 style 11th Doctors that have come out through the years. However, this time they've given him like this weird brown wash all the way around the hair. Not sure why they've gone for that. Personally, I think they would have just been better just sticking to like the black colour. I mean, I don't know if they're like going for something like that, because I guess Matt Smith's hair is sort of like a little bit brown as well. I'm not sure, but it's a lot more black than that, so I don't know why they've gone for that. As for the face sculpt, yeah, you can tell it's Matt Smith. It's a good likeness to him. I don't think that this is the best Matt Smith figure. However, I think that the Series 7 Part 2 head sculpt is slightly better. I don't know what it is. It might be something to do with the eyes, but looking at it on camera, it doesn't look too bad. I think for this instance, camera might do this a little bit better, but hey ho, that's my opinion anyway. A lot would probably disagree with me. The torso of the figure as well is very nicely detailed. He's got like a waistcoat inside with you know, it's all black and everything, and you've got the gold buttons and you've got the gold chain and watch, which is very nicely sculpted onto there. So you know, it's a very unique figure, and all around it's been painted in a sort of maroony colour or brown colour, a little bit maroony I'd say. And his trousers, they are the same as previous 11th Doctor figures that go all the way back to Series 5, I guess, and the boots are the same sculpt. Of course, they're painted in a different colour, but they look very nice. Nice wash of brown with a little bit of black in there as well to make him look like he's been walking around the streets of Victorian London for quite some time. So yeah, I think overall the detail on this figure is very good. The hair's a little bit weird, but overall very good. I'm very glad to see this get released at retailers like B&M. So going on the articulation of this figure, the head can do well, it is able to do a 360-degree turn, and I believe it is actually removable as well, as it originally was back when it was released in the Impossible set. The arms can do 160-degree turn, although my one here is very loose here, so be wary of that if you get in this. They are also ball jointed as well, so you can get them out like that. But mine's very stiff, and I'm very afraid if I do that I might end up popping the arm off and never getting back on. The biceps can do a 360-degree turn. The elbows can go up and down, and as you can see, the hand on this, for some reason, it pops off very easily, but you can just pop it back in like so. So that's a little bit of a shame, but it's not all doom and gloom for this figure. The hands themselves, or the wrists, they can do a 360-degree turn. At the waist as well, they can do a 360-degree turn, and there's articulation at the thigh joints, and they can swivel around, and there's articulation at the knees. They can bend backwards like so, and there is no articulation at the boot. So all in all, pretty much the same articulation there to expect on the later 11th Doctor figures. But overall, yeah, articulation is pretty good, although on mine there are some loose joints, so just be a little bit wary of that. But all in all, very good to have this on the shelf. It's a nice variation of the 11th Doctor, and it's one that I'm very pleased to see has got a re-release, especially for those people like myself who never got the Impossible set. The next figure in this set, what we're going to talk about, is the brand new variant of Amy Pond, which is based on her appearance in Let's Kill Hitler. Now, this is pretty much a standard repaint of the Victory of the Daleks Amy Pond, which was released many years ago now. She's wearing her jacket, and it's been painted in a style to make it look like it's like jeans basically. It's like a jean jacket. That's what she wears in the story, right? And it's very nicely detailed, I must say. She's wearing her white vest top there as well, with a few patterns of grey on there. It's been painted on, and you can see she's wearing a pink shirt underneath that. The hair sculpt is very nice. I've always liked the hair sculpt on the Amy Pond figure, and it really does look like Karen Gillan, in my honest opinion. This is one of the best likenesses of a companion that there's ever been, in my eyes. The hair sculpt in this, as I said, it is exactly the same. It's very nice. That's the way it looks like at the back. All the strands of hair and everything, all the detailing. And I believe they're giving it a bit more of a sort of brown and a black wash in this. There's a belt, so it's painted in brown colour, and you've got the silver painted on, and they look like buttons, which is great. She's wearing a short black skirt. She's also wearing tights, which are just basically her legs painted orange. And she's wearing the boots, which are black, and there's like a wash of silver on the top of it, and you can see that there's a pattern which looks like a bit of wheat, so it kind of reminds me a little bit of Vincent van Gogh, which of course Amy Pond befriended in Vincent and the Doctor. Going by the articulation, it's exactly the same as the previous Amy Pond figures. The head can hardly move due to the hair. The arms, though, they can do a 360-degree turn. They are not ball jointed, because when this was originally released it wasn't ball jointed. None of the figures were, apart from the odd couple like a Sea Devil or the Werewolf, all the way back in Series 2. Remember that? The biceps can also move, and the elbows can. The wrist, there is no articulation there, and also note she's got the watch on yet again. And the legs, they can move up and down. They can hardly swivel around though because of the skirt, and her knees also can move back and forth. So overall, a very welcome addition to the line. It's good to have another variant of Amy Pond, one that I never thought that we'd ever see ever again. Do I think that this is the last variant of Amy Pond? Possibly not, because she's gone down as a popular companion in many people's eyes, and there's also an existing sculpt of Amy Pond out there that's never been released in the 5-inch line, which is the version from Asylum of the Daleks. It's already been done in the shitty 3.75 range a few years ago, so whether they upscale that, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but again, it would be another variant to add to the shelf, so this may not be the last one. And here is a comparison of all of the Amy Pond figures that have been released through the years. So on the left we have the police uniform version, which do not have the boots. It is actually a different sculpt of the figure with a few retooling here and there. But as you can see, the Let's Kill Hitler version, which has been recently released, is basically a repaint of the Victory of the Daleks version, which is in the middle. Which one would I say is the best one? Well, I'd say probably still the Victory of the Daleks version, but that's not a bad thing to say about this new one which has just come out, because I think, going by just a comparison of these figures, I think all these figures are very good. But out of the three, I would definitely say the Victory of the Daleks one's still the best, but this one is still a very good one, and like I said, it is a welcome addition to the line. Finally, from this set, we have Oswald from Asylum of the Daleks, a story which I just mentioned a couple of seconds ago, and all in all, this is a very good figure. This is just a straight re-release of the one from the Impossible set, but I'm not complaining too much because I never got that set. So yeah, this and the 11th Doctor from this set, to me, they are two new figures to add to the shelf, and two pretty good ones, to be honest. This is easily the best version of Jenna Coleman in figure form, I would say. I think it really does look like Jenna Coleman. The hair sculpt, again, is spot on. I think it's really good. The nice wash of brown and black really does look like how she did in this episode. And she's wearing the red dress, and she's also wearing this thing, which just basically have all the tools and all that. It's just like a little accessory that she's wearing, which is very nice. As for the articulation, it's pretty much the same. Arms are ball jointed and they can go all the way around, a little bit hindered by the hair. The biceps, they move a little bit, and as do the elbows, and the legs can move, and the knees can move, and the feet can do a 360-degree turn as well. So overall, this is a very good figure yet again. Not much to go on, to be honest, but it does the job. It looks like how she did in Asylum of the Daleks. The trainers are very nicely detailed, red with white laces all the way around, and you got different shades of red here and there as well. So yeah, does the job, and you just got a plain red dress. So yeah, overall very nice. Doesn't have any souffle accessories like it originally did, but I don't really care, to be honest with you. So overall, very nice figure. Let's compare this to the other Clara figure which has been released. So here is Oswin next to the so-called Clara counterpart, which is based on the appearance from I don't know what. So yeah, the two of them are slightly different. This one wearing more lipstick, it's more prominent on this, and she looks a bit paler on the right as opposed to this. She looks a little bit more sort of tanned, which is a very weird observation I've just made, I know, but out of the two, the one that I prefer is probably this one, to be honest with you. So yeah, that is Oswald. This is actually a pretty good set. I wasn't really that fussed about it when it was announced, compared to the other sets that got announced. I wasn't as excited as, say, the 12th Doctor one, which I've just reviewed. So yeah, there's a shameless plug, check that video out. And I was more excited for the classic ones, like the 3rd Doctor and TARDIS set, and the 1970s set as well. But to be honest, now actually after buying this in the B&M store, actually this is a pretty damn good set, to be honest with you, because there are 3 variants of characters which I've never got, and to be honest, the main highlights for me are these 2, and the Amy Pond is just a nice added bonus for this set because this has never been released ever. So what you're getting here, I think, is an absolute bargain for about £15 depending on where you are. So thank you very much for watching this action figure review, guys. I highly recommend that you pick this up, especially if you are a big fan of Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor, and stay tuned for more action figure reviews on this channel. Until next time, guys, cheerio.